Trader Tina here once again from ShortMeTina.com with my daily recap. Today is Friday, so happy Friday, TGIF. Thank you for tuning in. It's Friday, so I never know who's listening to these videos, but if you are here, I want to say thank you because your level of devotion, bar none, I'm here as well. Anyway, so let's jump it off with ticker SLRX. Company issued an offering today, so stock shed about 58%. You can see it gap down here, confirming volume. Everyone is out, everyone is selling. The low clocked in at around 75 cents. We eventually closed at around 83 cents, the high being about 93. So you're probably wondering, well, will this stock ever see the light of day? Will it ever get back to sort of that $12 level or that $11 level? Probably not. Can it get to one, perhaps two? Two in the distant future. It probably can get to around $1 within the upcoming weeks. In my opinion, one of the key things you want to pay attention to is today's low of 75 cents. There was extreme bad news today, and even with that, we had the gap down, but trader said, you know what, let's make 75 cents the floor. It did not go lower than that. So for me, that should be like your frame of reference. That should be sort of like your risk and your price point. That's 75 cents. Because again, bad news hit the markets today. And despite that, they said, you know what, we're not going to let this go lower than 75 cents. So if I was going to trade this to get a little bit of a bounce to $1, I'd be looking to take a position around that 75 cents level. What else? All right, and then we have ticker BNTC daily, another stock that is up on the day about 40%. Closed at 744. The high clocked in at 1161. So closed like a good deal off of the high. So let's zoom into the hourly. You can see stock was dormant, and it came alive these last few days. We had this little pop earlier in the day, right? You had this run up the first 2 hours or so of trading, and from then you had nothing but a decline. So for me, what I'd be paying attention to, let me draw this trend line, if I was long, obviously would be this level here, right? Essentially around where it closed, around that $7.30 level. Let's say that. Let's pull it down a little bit. If the stock can trade above there, you have a really good shot, in my opinion, at revisiting, I wouldn't say 1090, but at least you have a really good shot at revisiting, I would say around $8.50 or $9. If we dip below, right, if you wake up on Monday and you see that the stock is actually trading down below 730, which is actually going on in after hours, I see a quote of 725. It's down about 2%. Now, if that continues into Monday, then I would say look out. Chances are this goes lower. The momentum would have died at that point. What else? All right, then we have to go ASRT. Let's stick with the hourly. Again, congrats to anyone that was able to get in on this gap up. Stock is up about 46% on the day, closed at 152, up marginally in after hours, up about 2%. I see a quote of 156, so somewhere around here, somewhere around resistance. Anyway, you had the gap up, you had the run up in the first hour of trading. Outside of that, the stock essentially spent the remainder of the trading day essentially fading. So for me, if you're long or you're looking to get long, you definitely want to pay attention to resistance of around where it's at now, around 156, 157. If it can get above there, you have a real shot at retesting today's high of 169. If it cannot get above there, look out. Eventually, this gap here of around 105 will be filled. What level should you be paying attention to? Definitely, in my opinion, you want to pay attention to the low of around 147, 150. If we dip below that, chances are you're going to see more of a decline. What else? All right, and then we have the SPY down today about 0.52% on the day, closed at 332.24. The low clocked in at 331.60. You can see selling today. So essentially ran into resistance and then we pulled back. So the question is whether or not we're going to continue to pull back and shed another 3 or 5% like we saw here, or we continue to go on to achieve newer highs. Now, I thought that this was the beginning of a larger pullback, but the market said actually, no, we want to pop. I think that this pop here might be a situation where you might want to fade it. So I'm not necessarily sure that the market is going to go higher from here. I still think we're due for a correction. So I'm expecting another 5 to 10%. Not 10%, about another 5%. What else? All right, see, that was really quick. So let's cap it with ticker TWTR, Twitter daily chart, off about 4% on the day. Remember, I did a video on this yesterday, and I said, you know what? I actually still like Twitter. I still think that it can at some point get back to 50, but from where we got in the premium member community around here, a little over around in the 20s, to the most recent high yesterday of almost 40, I said, you know what? I think the stock is due for a pullback. It did just that. It pulled back around 4%. I still think it has more room to go. So while I am bullish in the long or intermediate term, not long, in the intermediate term on Twitter, I still think that there is potentially more downside and you can get a better entry. And I'm looking to actually re-enter this stock for a run up until the 50s, but again, not buying it here. You can see we had that sell off today, closed at 37.03, the lowest 36.84. If the market pulls back on Monday, expect this to pull back as well. And take note, the same way that it filled this gap here of around 37.76, there's a gap here to be filled of around 34.16. I fully expect it to fill that gap. And let's cap it there. Tina here, once again from ShortMeTina.com. Really quickly, if you enjoyed any portion of that video, do 3 things for me. 1, comment in the comment section, like the video. Again, it helps to push it out to other traders that are in these stocks. So that's the first thing. If you like it, if you like the video, well, then just show me by liking it. And again, comment. 2, make sure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel at ShortMeTina. I do daily videos, as you can see, even on a Friday. And the last thing, 3, I've been trading for a long time. For those that are new around here, for those that are stopping every so often, you already know the spiel. I've been trading for a long time, close to 20 years. So, and right now what we're doing is we're hosting a free 14-day trading course in our website. So if that's something that you're interested in, I talk about the lessons that I've learned in the last 20 years or so that actually transformed me from a really bad trader to, you know, someone that's, I wouldn't say I'm at the pinnacle of my game because I'm still working on myself, but I'm at the top of my game. So if you want to learn those lessons, definitely head on over to our website, ShortMeTina.com. Sign up, become a member. Thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for the support. TGIF. Enjoy your weekend, be safe, and I'll talk to you back here on Monday.